everyone, my name is SiC and welcome to Humankind. We are playing the Bolivar update, which has released just a little while ago. And I'm starting this campaign because someone in the comments actually reached out to me and really enjoyed my previous Humankind content and asked if I was interested in making more. Which I was, but there weren't many views that I could see, and of course, I make so many videos that over time I stopped keeping track of all of them, so from the moment I stop keeping track of my videos, they might get many more views than I know about. And comments, even on a video that might be 5 years old, for example, still will let me know that there is an interest in certain kind of content on my channel. And as a result of this comment, I'm jumping back into Humankind, for which is probably like the 4th playthrough by now, I think. For this specific playthrough, I have bought the 2 recent DLCs, the Cultures of Africa and the Cultures of South America. So both of those, I think, add 6 new cultures, new world wonders, new wonders in the world, I think. No, world wonders, so as in wonders that are constructed by people, and wonders that exist as a natural phenomenon, like Mount Everest, Lake Baikal, things like that. Things like that just happen to be made by nature and things that happen to be made by people. So it's quite interesting, and I haven't played with them, but they will add all different kinds of flavors, of course, to the game. Now, what we will do, we will start a new game. The Bolivar update was actually quite significant. It changed a lot of things. I don't particularly care about who we're playing against as long as they are not some YouTube personality, which they are not, so that is good. We will be playing on a large world. The pace will be set to normal, though I could also set it to slow. But let's go for normal. This is the intended experience, I guess. As for the difficulty, we'll be setting this to Nation, I think. Last time I played on Metropolis, and it's a normal difficulty, but I felt like even despite the fact that they made some updates to the AI to be less powerful in the early game and a bit more powerful in the late game, I still kind of started steamrolling the whole experience. So I'll start playing I'll play it on Nation difficulty. We'll have no custom maps. As for content, we have the Preorder, Deluxe, Cultures of Africa pack and Cultures of Latin America pack active. And then we'll start.
Contains infinite stories, most of which are about rocks and ice at sub-zero temperatures in a vacuum. Rather boring. However, on a small damp rock, there is a story that bears a second look. It's your story. But the first 4 billion years or so mostly concern amino acids. Not much of a page turner. But then, over time, the amino acids bond together, and things start to get interesting and a bit drier. A certain subspecies of hominid discovers that you can do more with a sharp rock than annoy your little brother. Tools and weapons are invented. The hominids begin to cooperate. Fire becomes a servant rather than an unpredictable force of nature. They learn to tan the skins of animals for clothing. They learn ways to record and probably exaggerate their adventures. Eventually, these tribes learn to build shelters and immediately hold the first barbecue parties. This is the dawn of humankind. Struggle and cooperation have been rewarded. The Neolithic era draws to a close. The whole world beckons. This tribe has come far, but the rest of their story is your story. You are the one who will build them into a great civilization. How far will you push humankind? A new era, a new epoch. While your tribe looks to you for leadership, the weight of all those future, unborn generations also weighs upon your decisions. What sort of lives will they have?
Alright, so this is a shout out to James Weiksner, who asked for more content and as a result is getting some more content. So we start close to a coastline. That is cool, but from now here on out we will need to head further inland. We have of course our one little hunting party and we can start exploring. Now I do see a cliff over here. It might be a mountain. There's another high ground area over here. We have horses. I definitely want to get this particular province or territory, but we'll start exploring as much as we can. Let's see, we are not going to be able to reach the high ground on this turn. This seems to be another coastline. We could probably cross over here, but I want to get the high ground as much as possible. We'll step into here. It is a mountain. Alright, and with that done, we'll end turn 1. Now, we could auto-explore, and this is one part of the game that I don't like, is, I don't know in how much that has been changed, but as the game launched, essentially, people, or the AI, would, you know, they would be auto-exploring and stuff like that, and they would basically beeline for all the goodies, right? Like all the benefits, like all the goodie huts that would give them science, that would give them food, things like that. They would just magically kind of know where that was and they would just head straight for it. So they would get out of control quite early. Then later on they couldn't manage up with, or they couldn't manage to keep up with like the strategic choices that the player might make, and then you could kind of gain on them over time, I guess. But it was a bit of a problem. Now, if you turn on Auto Explore for this unit, it's going to have the same effect. And that is one thing that I don't particularly like, because I kind of want to explore on my own. You know, I want to make my own choices, but it is not as efficient as turning on Auto Explore. So that is one thing that kind of bums me out. But let's have a look. We did find die, which this one provides +5 industry and +4 stability per die on all cities, and +5% industry. Oh crap, I did not mean to click that, that was a misclick. +5% industry per die on all cities as a wondrous effect. So that is later on when you get a monopoly on this, by building a special kind of extractor building on top of it, which is really useful. This one is really good. It's another province I would like to have. Meanwhile, we found salt, which provides +5 food per city and +4 stability per salt, and as well as 5% food per salt on all cities. Again, something that comes into effect late game, but is really quite cool. Now we could go on to this discovery, but I kind of also want to kill the deer. We should be strong enough to take it out, and it will give us probably enough food to get another army unit. And with a second army unit, we can split up and start exploring more. Now we'll go into a manual battle. We'll deploy here on the high ground, or the highest ground as we can get. Actually, let's deploy over here, so now later on we can easily move on to the high ground. We'll end the deployment, and now let's have a look. This guy is not on the low grounds, I think. But we still have more combat strength. We'll do more damage than we'll receive. And that's a trade I'll take any day. Actually, I could have already gone up here and then attacked, I think. And that would have been even better. So that's a bit unfortunate. I should have thought about that. But this is still an early game engagement, you know. It's not the worst of things. And we can still do so right now. But yeah, this would have been a lot better. We would have had lost little, or just very little health, a lot less health, as you can see. Right, now with that done, we are half dead. We only got 5 food. However, that is not the worst of outcomes, because we need to kill 5 animals to gain the Hunter Star. As soon as we gain any one of these 3 stars, we'll be able to advance to the next age, and we'll be able to choose a culture. So this definitely contributes to a fame reward, and that fame is of course the one thing you need to
even those who have disappeared may have done something very clever
to win the game, you know. So let's see, we found a curiosity, and now the science thingies are super important early game because they provide you not just with science. We don't research anything quite yet, but I think this builds up, gives you a start to your first research. It also provides you with influence, which you need to create outposts which will claim territory. Now that we have found our first curiosity, we've got enough influence to build our first territory. And right off the bat, we can see 2 locations that are highlighted by the game. We could start here, and we would have 12 food and 8 industry, which is quite nice. So we could start here with 14 food and 5 industry. Industry, however, is quite important. I think this is the stronger one, especially considering the difference. The food is 2 difference, industry is 3 difference. But first of all, I should probably go grab this food. I won't be able to reach it turn 4.
Full bellies and healthy children.
I'll grab it.
I see where this is going.
Got another 5 food, that's good. And we have an event. We have Lost Souls, 1. Your scout comes to you, breathless from exertion. Between gasps, he tells you that he spied another tribe not far ahead. He leads you on, then after giving a stop signal, you drop to your bellies and crawl forward in the brush. Ahead, a young woman, no more than 13 summers, is leading a ceremony. Her audience, a dozen or so equally young or younger tribesmen. Many are crying, and when you see the bodies laid out, you understand they are in mourning. You know what you must do. Now, we can welcome the children. We will get a new army, a growing tribe next to hunting party. These children need care and shelter. We will be their guardians, and they will become our tribe. However, it has chances of triggering another narrative event, which might be good or bad. We could also withdraw, leave them, because they could be sick or cursed. We will make haste from this place. We will get swift, +2 land movement for 5 turns on this tribe. So instead of 4, we'll go to 6 tiles that we could move, which is quite powerful, but I actually prefer to get more scouting, and it's also the more humane thing to do. We get a second army, or hunting party actually. We'll actually use this one to move back as far as possible, which we couldn't do before. And then I guess, well, we'll keep exploring around here a little bit. We have 1 action left. I think I won't move further. I will actually use that last action to regroup, which starts healing up my tribe. Now we'll end here. We have more food over there, which is great. These guys are going to claim our first outpost. Ooh, they start right next to food. And we have 2 food over here. That's great. But this is a good start as well, because we get access to salt, which is the +5 food. Yeah, this entire area belongs to us. It's quite a big province. We have access to salt, which provides us the food that we want. And then later on we will get access to the dye. So I think that is actually quite a strong start, and I'm quite happy with that. We'll go ahead and grab these wild berries. We'll grab this food over here as well. This is a dead end, that is good to know. Meanwhile, our other tribe, let's see, can go ahead and grab this food. Maybe we'll get 10, but we got 5. So that is a bit slow. But there was more food over here, which we'll grab in just a second. We could also go for the deer, actually. This also seems to be a bit of a dead end, though this might have something. I'm not entirely sure. We'll, guess we'll take 2 turns for this group to go over here and just check out this area just to know what is there. It's quite important that we do, I think. Let's see, we can go onto the high ground. Oh, and this is perfect because we can use our last movement to grab the food. And because we're adjacent, that food also was enough to grow a second tribe. So now we have an army strength of 2. We can actually still attack this deer without the use of more movement points. We'll manual battle once again. There's not much deployment to be done here. We'll put them on the defense. And we'll just let the deer attack into us. Now, unfortunately, oh, we could actually go around. That is something I should have realized. It does pay to pay close attention to the layout of the battlefield. It's quite important actually to get as much benefit as you could possibly get from any engagement. So maybe I'm being a bit too hasty. I'm not going to lose this fight, you know, so that is not a problem whatsoever, but I need to get as much advantage as I could possibly get. Now we are going into the attack. We only lost 6 health and we killed the thing in 1 hit. It was half health. That is good. We got spoils. We got 5 food and we got 5 influence. That is really, really nice. We have another deer over here that we can possibly attack on the next turn. Oh, we have more science over here as well. Now this would be a good point or a good moment to actually split up this group. We'll have the injured unit split and go ahead and grab this discovery. We'll also move this arm unit further down and see if we can find that deer again. Now we have 1 action point left. We will use that to get onto the high ground.
It's one of those moments that make you feel like a small thing on a wondrous planet.
We have found Mount Everest. Now one of the cool things that the Bolivar update has done is actually they have changed the benefits that natural wonders give you. All the natural wonders are now unique. So I don't know what the Mount Everest gives, but let's have a look. At the bottom there it says plus 10 stability on city or outpost, that's good. Plus 10 industry on the main plaza, plus 5 influence on the main plaza, and plus 10 faith on the main plaza. That is a strong start. We will most definitely want to take Mount Everest. And on top of that, we also have geysers, which provide us with plus 2 industry, plus 2 science, and plus 1 vision range. That is quite good. Now, unfortunately, we don't have enough influence to claim this territory, but that will be priority number 1. Meanwhile, another nomadic tribe has reached the ancient era with the Harappans. So someone already got an arrow star and they decided to move on immediately. Not the worst thing. But yeah, I didn't want to play Harappans anyway. Let's have a look. Violent pursuits. The last winter was especially harsh, the ground hard and the frost chilling to the bone. In the heart of the settlement, the tribe huddled close to share warmth through the coldest days. But for some it wasn't enough. Some needed to get their blood flowing, and they found a means through violent games. Grappling, fighting, contests of strength and endurance. One contest where opponents fight with hidebound fists has gained quite a following, to the point that the outpost's usual foraging missions are under threat. What is your say on this new pursuit? Alright, so we have choices to make here. We can encourage the fights. We will lose minus 2 food on our outpost, but on every nomadic tribe we will get plus 25 experience on creating units on all cities. That will be quite good, I think. We could forbid it, which actually increases our food production because everyone is sent back out to work. Or we could codify it. We should allow these contests, but only at decreed times of the year. And as a result, we will get minus 25% on domestication research cost. Now that actually allows you to make horses more quickly. And I think that is the one to go for here. So we'll codify it. With that done, see, these guys were healing. We could actually... No, we cannot do anything.
By building an outpost, claiming territory is this easy. The trick, of course, is keeping it.
Alright, we grabbed that, so that is good. Let's see, we could reach this food. Nope, we could not. These guys could, but they don't have... They have equal amount of benefits from it. We'll use this tribe to grab that food instead. Meanwhile, we have found copper. Copper is quite important for early game units as well, so this is another territory that we should want to claim. We'll go up. We found another horse. Oh, that is even better. This is an important area for us to take control of, because some special units belonging to some cultures that you can pick actually require 2 horses to make, and some of them even require copper as well. So this is quite a strong start, I would say. These guys will have to go as far as they can. They'll follow the low ground along the coast. They'll see what they can see. These guys will heal a little bit more until they're full strength again. Another nomadic tribe has advanced, this time with the Phoenicians, so a coastal focus. That would have been strong for us as well. Not gonna lie, but it's not the worst of outcomes. And these guys are going to follow along the coast. So these guys are going to grab some food. And I guess we'll move up onto the high ground. Let's have a look. We have more deer. We'll go ahead and attack these deers. We'll have the high ground, which is perfect. We'll end the deployment on the high ground, and then we'll just attack straight away. That is probably the worst outcome that we could get. This guy, could not move on to the high ground. That is good as well. I guess because we exert a zone of influence or control. And as a result, he could only move one tile, but he could not move two and then up because he was adjacent to us. On the next turn, he's probably going to go up here and then attack us again, but he's almost dead. Yeah, there he goes. So this was a really good spot. And with that, we have 5 more food as well as 5 more influence, which will allow us to grab another territory. Now, this territory has strong outpost potential. Look at the production and the food on this. This is really good. However, it doesn't have horses, it doesn't have copper, it doesn't have Mount Everest. I think we should grab these first of all. There's nothing special in this territory, as far as I have seen so far. So this is not the priority. I will definitely want to grab Mount Everest. We might even want to found our first city there because it is quite strong. But the downside of this is that it's a wintry territory, which means low food output. Production will be good, but the food is just going to be a little bit crappy. That said, I found an 11-11 spot for an outpost. We will grab that without a doubt. In the meantime, we also accidentally grab some nuts for more food, plus 10 even. That is really good. And then we look onto more food, which actually grows our army. And we have earned our first growth star, so we could advance into the next territory. However, if we kill two more animals, we'll get the hunter star as well for plus 20 fame. Now, looking at the fame, so far we are ahead. So we might actually just take advantage of the fact that we are ahead and just continue into the next era. For now, let's remind me later. We'll move over here. We have 2 deer over there. We would need to heal up a little bit, so we'll do that. But we could actually get even more famous by hunting 2 more animals. I don't think we'll get enough knowledge stars in time to make it worthwhile. We have quite a few people, which is really nice. We'll end the turn for now. Let's see, another nomadic tribe has taken the Assyrians. Another tribe has taken Olmecs, and another tribe has taken the Numidians, or the Nubians actually. You will go up ahead. Now, it's actually worthwhile to not make your full move at once. Maybe just move tile by tile, because you will have more chances to actually have a look at where you're going and adjust your routes. But for now, we want to take that animal. We'll do a manual battle. We'll end the deployment. In this case, we probably don't want to move down, right? We want to move up. Or we want to stay where we are. We'll get the defensive bonus, and it will have to attack us up. So it is going to be at a massive combat disadvantage. As you can see, we only lost 6 HP. He lost 36, which is incredible. And again, we only lost 8. He'll go up onto the high ground, or not even. He's just going to attack straight on. We lost another 8 HP, but this is really good. We grew even more. We have more people right now. And we only need to kill 1 more animal. Now, on the next turn, we'll get this other outpost. Unfortunately, that does not allow them to move afterwards. So that is not the best of outcomes. But we might luck into another animal to hunt here. Though, ooh, yeah, yes, we do. Alright, that is quite efficient for this turn. We'll end the deployment and we'll go straight on the attack. Unfortunately, we'll have to move up, but on our side is numbers. You know, like we can take some hits. It doesn't matter. As long as we kill it. And we'll kill it next turn. No problem. And we won't even lose that much health, because we have the damage split between the two groups. With that, we get the hunting star. Alright. With that out of the way, I'm not going to wait for the knowledge stars. We will go into the next era. We have another outpost, which is perfect. We will, let's see, well, killing this doesn't actually help us that much this turn. There's more dye over here. That's another great thing to take. We have gold over here, which early game, I guess, is not that strong because it provides you plus 2% money per gold. This gets more powerful later on as you make more money. So that's not the highest priority. Still nice to have, but dye, for example, with the plus 5 industry per dye is really good, because if we take this one and the other one, we'll have plus 10 industry early on, and that is just really good. We'll just do an instant resolution on this battle, because we're not going to lose a unit on that. We'll take an easy victory, and it's not the most interesting of fights. Now let's have a look. A totem for the tribe. As night falls, the tribe gathers round the fire, many talking of the great hunts they have waged against this land's fearsome beasts. Some not only see the animals as dangerous foes to be bested for their meat and pelts, but feel an affinity towards the prey, sources of inspiration who galvanize the tribe. This gives you an idea. Why not adapt a totem animal to represent the tribe? An animal that can give you strength. Which one should it be? We could do deer. We'll get swift on runners, which are actually... Those are a unique unit for the Harappans, I think. So that will not benefit us at all, because the Harappans, first of all, are already taken, and I might not even want to choose them if they were not yet taken. We could do Mammoth. This colossal beast will be a fitting match for our power over the lands. Plus 10 influence, that is nice, because we can grab more territory that way. Or we can choose Bear. No animal better reflects our raw strength. Ferocious on runners for 10. Plus 1 combat strength. No, I'll go for the influence. It's better to grab as much territory as possible. So, and with that out of the way, we can actually select a new culture. Now, right off the bat, I see the two new unique cultures that belong to the early age. We have the Bantu. If you wish to prosper, you must give as much as you take. And the Karalans. With life-giving waters, we lay foundations in the hardest lands. I am very curious what they provide. So let's have a look. Plus 2 influence per number of adjacent empires on territory. Alright, interesting. That would require us to be close to AI settlements, opponents' settlements. But that might help with actually exerting our influence over their territory. It would not give us their territory, but they would be basically our culture, but belonging to a different civilization. And that will be beneficial for us. Let's see, Mupia fields are their unique districts. Automatically upgrades a regular outpost. It's not a district, it's an outpost. Interesting. Plus 10 food on adjacent cities, and it is fortified. Alright, and then they have the Bagendi Pioneers. Collecting pioneer curiosities creates new units. Wherever they roam, these hardy nomads can find all they need to thrive and to make the land their own. That is really cool, because basically I think that works just like this tribal stage works. You know, we find these special places, and it will give us free units. And special unit that gathers food through fighting and ransacking in order to multiply. Basically, yeah, this is an extension of the unit we already have. That is quite cool. The Karolans, meanwhile, they have cooperative spirit. Plus 1 food on farmers' quarters per adjacent farmers' quarter. Plus 1 industry for the same. Plus 1 money for the same. Plus 1 science for the same. That is really good. That is strong. Ceremonial Plaza allows construction of new districts on adjacent tiles. Minus 10 stability and plus 2 faith per adjacent district. Interesting. And I guess this plaza Could be built anywhere. Let's see. Must be placed next to coastal water or lake. Can be built once per territory. Does not require being connected to a main plant. Oh, that is good. That is really good. And then they have healers. Relying on the medicinal properties of plants, healers help promote a peaceful, nurturing society. They are a close combat unit, so they even can fight. This old lady, being an absolute badass. And then they have plant lore. Knowledge of beneficial plants provides health regeneration outside of friendly territories to all you. That is really good. That is really good. Because normally speaking, you'd have to retreat your army to your own territory to heal up. Except for, because the tribal stage, the tribes don't have a territory yet, so that doesn't apply to them. But these guys could basically just heal up anywhere. This is really good. I love the cooperative spirit bonus. I like the ceremonial plaza district. This could be very powerful, because you can immediately start building something away from where you settled. For another powerful bonus, we are going for this one. I don't even care about the others. This is the new DLC culture, so that is a bonus. Because that just came out, so that is interesting. I haven't played with them before, and they're very good.
The challenges of a young civilization. It's hard keeping up with the neighbors when they have the wheel and you don't. Humankind learns quickly that everyone contributes. If you're terrified of wild animals, you can grow lentils or catch fish. Tribes settle towns. Towns develop markets, and markets begin the exchange of goods, services, and most important, rumors and hearsay.
Gossip.
A new future awaits. Let us see if this culture will bring your dreams or your nightmares to fruition.
Alright, that is so cool. And it is time, of course, to start our first city as well. Oh, actually, we cannot make this. I thought I would make this into a city, because it's 11 food, 11 production. As MIDI over here provides 11 food, 8 production. So it's still good, but it's not the most powerful start. This, however, still takes 2 turns. So we'll go over to the sanctuary. We'll raid it in 1 turn to get some money. These guys, meanwhile, are going to continue exploring. We could go back up onto the high ground. We'll definitely do that. We found papyrus. +4 stability per papyrus on all cities, +3 science per papyrus, and +3 science on administrative center, main plaza and administrative center. So basically cities and outposts. I like that. I like that quite a bit. This is a good start. We have another sanctuary. We could raid over here. These are scouts, however, so these guys cannot heal, unfortunately. That is something to keep in mind. We could turn this into a city, but we are not going to, because I want this to be my city. So it will have to wait for 2 more turns, unfortunately, but that's the way it is. Meanwhile, we've been playing for some time, so I want to thank you so much for watching. Please do leave a like and a comment below if you enjoyed this content and wish to see more, and I will see you guys for whatever video I do next.